maybe they can try out a name that Alex Trebek had actually mentioned that he would like to see, and that's CNN analyst Laura Coates. So maybe she could step in and try her hand at it as well. So it remains up in the air at this point. They did say that Mike Richards will stay on as executive producer. How long he'll stay on in that role, well, that remains to be seen, right? We'll see. The 5 episodes that he did already tape for the new season will still air.
Well, of course, because you have money.
And I mean, he was set to take over very soon. So, right. I mean, they don't have anyone in the interim, so they'll air his while they scramble to find a replacement. Pretty crazy. Also, pretty crazy. Actually, very, very wild. Fists were flying at the Lions-Steelers preseason game on Saturday. I think everyone has seen this footage because it is insane. Fans in the stands got into this nasty brawl, and it started basically when a female fan slapped a man in the face. So in this video, you can see, and you can kind of hear them as well, arguing about something. We don't know what they were arguing about, but as they were yelling at each other, the woman appears to have kind of made a little bit of contact with the man. The man slaps her hand away, tells her, "Don't touch me." Well, that's exactly when the woman delivers a slap across the guy's face. And from there, it was just all out madness, right? Like, he tried to get in there again. Another man who appeared to be at the game with the woman jumped in to defend her. But that's when this guy who was slapped punched not only the woman, but also delivered this, like, one knockout blow to her buddy. He went down. Luckily, some other fans jumped in and nothing more serious took place. But it was insane. It was a crazy fight. and it was crazier because it's very rare to see a fight between a man and a female take place like that. We've seen fights like this recently, actually, but they're all male fans.
Yeah, right.
So to see it like this.
We had one, I think, 2 weeks ago, it was 2 girls.
Yes, they were wrestling. Yeah.
One of the Rams last week was, remember the woman who threw the soda or the beer?
Yes. But she didn't get a slap. She didn't try to get in there, but she threw a cup of beer or pop or whatever it was. But yeah, this was insane. So crazy. You guys, 2 people died and a third was critically injured on Friday during a shooting at the South Haven Pier Beach. I know this beach so well. We always go here when we head to that area. It's such a great beach. The pier, even if you don't hang out at the beach, just to go to the pier is something a lot of people do to sightsee. Well, beachgoers were just scrambling, running, screaming for safety when they heard these shots fired. A witness says that this gunman, who has been identified as 19-year-old Aiden Ingalls, was just walking calmly, pointing and shooting at people as, like I said, they were just running for cover. Police say that this man, Ingalls, shot both victims at the end of the pier before turning the gun on himself. So he is one of the victims of this gunfire. So far, the motive for the shooting is unknown, but police did say that this young man, the shooter, was recently released from a juvenile detention center, and he had plotted a shooting at Papa High School in 2018. It's devastating.
It is.
I was reading, I saw a post on social media, a woman who was there with 2 kids, about what actually went down on the beach and how terrifying it was. A lot of parents were there with their young kids, letting them swim in Lake Michigan, playing in the sand, and just the sheer terror that everybody felt trying to collect their kids and either run for cover or try to hide. Very, very terrifying situation for sure. Cedar Point's Top Thrill Dragster will remain closed indefinitely after a woman was injured with that flying piece of metal. So Cedar Point said in a statement that the closure will allow for a thorough investigation into the ride's safety. They said they want to fully understand what happened and why it happened. They're going to bring in a bunch of different experts, including the Ohio Department of Agriculture's Division of Amusement Ride Safety and Fairs. They're going to bring in investigators, engineers, and also the ride's manufacturer to take a look at what happened. And as of Friday, that woman who was hit in the back of the head with that piece of metal was still injured and remained in the hospital.
police know
recovery.
where on the ride it came from, or are they still trying to identify that?
That I don't know if they do or not. I think they're trying to identify everything. I swore that something like this had happened in the past. Maybe it was a different amusement park or a different ride. I thought it was on the Top Thrill Dragster, or maybe nobody was hurt, but I honestly think I remember years ago something like this happening. I don't think it's the first time that this has happened. So no, they've got a lot to figure out because, of course, you don't want anybody else injured,
No.
without a doubt.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. Appreciate it. All right, coming up next. Did you see it live? 97.1 The Tip.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. On my sports betting show, You Better You Bet, which you should be checking out on a daily basis, we're breaking down every team in pro football before the season starts. We recently hit on Pittsburgh, which has a win total of 8.5. And not only do I like the under on Pittsburgh's win total this season, I think you could potentially play some alternate win totals in case things really go off the rails this year for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's quarterback is a future first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, but really struggled to end last season. Arm strength did not look up to par. The offensive line is not going to be great. It's hard for turnover luck to continue 3 seasons in a row. So I think there's a chance the wheels really come off in Pittsburgh this year. Give me that under 8.5. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
If you're in the market for any type of vehicle, you need to come and see what we can do for you during our Make This a Summer event at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Our friend Phil Golling here telling qualified Chrysler employees that you can lease a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for just $278 a month. Leases for 24 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. Since 1966, we've been honored to serve all your automotive needs, be it sales, service, or collision. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at Golling.com.
Buddy's Pizza, the birthplace of the original Detroit-style pizza, is proud to celebrate 75 years in the Motor City. Download Buddy's Rewards from your app store today to receive exclusive offers and earn points on purchases at all 19 Buddy's Pizza locations.
Of all the things you do to protect your health, none is more important than staying on your medication. And here's a little encouragement. At CVS, you can earn up to 50 extra points each year just for filling your prescriptions. That's healthier, made easier. Visit your local CVS to sign up and start earning now. Terms and conditions apply. Not available in all states. See cvs.com/RxRewards or the pharmacy for details.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit. Because shed happens.
Are you stuck in a timeshare and tired of the mortgage payments or never-ending maintenance fees? Were you misled or want out? The Titan Exit Group can legally and permanently terminate your timeshare. Get a free consultation and information that shows you how. Think about how good it will feel not to have to pay those monthly maintenance fees, mortgage payments, or taxes. The Titan Exit Group has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and gives you real financial relief. Ready to put that cash back in your pocket? Find out how. Absolutely free by calling 800-200-0894. 800-200-0894. Legally terminate your timeshare with the timeshare termination experts. The Titan Exit Group is friendly and here to help. Get all of your questions answered in the first free call. Legally terminate your timeshare. Call 800-200-0894. For a free consultation, call now. 800-200-0894. That's 800-200-0894.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Paparo of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
One more. Fly ball, right center. D got a chance. Congratulations to Miguel Cabrera. 500 career home runs. His teammates pour out of the dugout.
Great call by Dan Dickerson with home run number 500. Kind of, I don't think he would have taken the moment away by interrupting. But, you know, it would have been nice if Jim Price could have been there to see to a certain extent. But, anyway, Double D with the great call right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. And yes, we have not forgotten about football. We'll get into how wonderful the Lions looked, especially in the first quarter on Saturday, and what it means, if anything. And we'll get into that coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. Jim Leland will join us at 7:35. So, you know, we all, for the most part, after he hit 499, we as fans, and of course us for our jobs, we were on Miggy watch. And, you know, they played night games during the week. Unless you had something really important to do, most people were, you know, kind of tuned in, especially every time he came to the plate. After, if he would make it out, you might, you know, go away for a while, do something, come back and watch. After a while, though, it got to be, I'm not going to revolve my whole world around Miguel Cabrera's 500th home run, especially with all due respect on a team that is going nowhere. So this weekend, it's like, okay, I'll just DVR it. You know, if he hits it, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You know, not that I needed to DVR it because it's, the highlights are everywhere, but that's what I did. And so I want to ask, where were you, if you could? A lot of people obviously were watching live. Where were you, and how did you find out when Miggy hit the 500th? Because yesterday, I was in a pool, and somebody, a friend of mine, Ricky, goes, Stoney, my son just texted me. Miggy did it. I said, oh, cool. Good. All right. I'll watch it when I get home.
Did you watch it when you get home, or did you
As
just
soon as I got home.
turn on the phone?
No, as soon as I got home, I stayed in the pool. It was so hot out. I stayed in the pool.
Well, you can use your phone in the pool. You're too nervous
I know,
about
I'm
dropping
surprised
it.
you didn't have it like sitting right there by the edge.
Yes,
Not a good idea.
No.
No, I figured you for one of the couch floaties with the cup holder for the,
At the light,
beverage
turn left
and
onto
the
Pontiac
other
Trail.
one for your phone. You can't be
No.
away from Twitter that much.
No, because for some reason my phone, especially when it gets really hot, it doesn't work either. Like,
Oh yeah, overheats. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I put it on my little chair and I went to the pool for a while. I didn't need my phone.
Yeah.
At that particular time, and I said, oh great. But you know, sometimes you have, you know, FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
I had none of that.
At the next light,
Believe it or not.
turn
And so I
right.
was like, I'll go home and watch it. I'm glad it was over with. I'm glad he got it. You know, I got home in time to watch the last few innings, you know, to watch them win the game, actually, which was kind of cool. So I was wondering where you were, and did you, you know, schedule your weekend around Miguel Cabrera? It was just too nice to be out inside, in my opinion, watching baseball.
For me, it was too hot to be outside, so I was either
At the
inside
light,
or I
use
was
the
in my
right lane
truck,
to turn
and
onto
the AC
Orchard
was
Lake Road.
blasting no matter where I was. I was in my truck, and I did get a notification on my phone. I got notifications every time Miggy came up to bat. And so I knew when he was
Turn right.
batting, and it did make me, you know, hey, I have to turn this on. Because
So you were in your truck driving around.
3.4 miles.
Yeah.
Turn
I
left
was,
onto
I was
Northwestern
taking the kids
Highway.
somewhere.
Okay, so you knew Miggy was up.
I knew he was up.
And you didn't even put on 97.1 The Ticket to listen to it?
No, because when you have teenage daughters, they have, and you just want to keep things peaceful, they have control of the music that's being played. I have my own playlist playing in my head, and everything is fine. So here's how it all went. My son is sitting right behind me. I get the update that Miggy's up to bat, so I tell him, I'm like, hey, Jack, Miggy's at bat. And so he goes, okay, Dad, let me know what happens. And so I obviously, I don't know at the time, but then all of a sudden the next one pops up, and it's Miggy hits 500. I said, buddy, he just did it. So because we have this capability now, and I did DVR it, I can pull it up on my phone.
Right.
And I handed it to my son. I'm like, hey, you know, bud, tell me, you know, where he hit it, what, you know, describe it to me. So he went through the whole thing. So that's where that'll be my memory, and I'm okay with that. I did get a chance to go back and see it when we parked, but
I'm just surprised you couldn't say, hey, you know, Ruby, Lucy, just, for the next 2 minutes, let's listen to Miggy.
Yeah.
And then go back to,
I got a chance to see.
Florida, Georgia line, or wherever they were listening.
Dan Dickerson has a way of delivering it, but so does Jack Jansen. He's got a great delivery.
I'd love for him to call, give us the call. John, where were you?
I was actually watching the game.
Oh, good for you.
Well, yesterday I was going to go back and forth between the Little League game and the Tiger game.
Yeah.
The Little League game was raining, and so they got eventually postponed. And so I had a chance to see this thing, and the bottom of the inning prior to that was going on and on and on. So I'm like, I'm going to try to take the dog out. And of course, by the time I got back inside, it had just happened.
Near miss.
Yeah, great.
But all you got to do is rewind it, right?
Yeah,
You
but
saw
it's
right
still,
away.
It's the
Yes. But if you're going to invest that much time in front of the
Did
TV.
anybody actually see it live?
It's unbelievable. It's like classic. Just, I was so mad at myself. Because you always, you take those calculated risks. And I've been doing this with sports, watching it for, my whole life. And I thought I was pretty good at taking these risks. And
That's OG. Same old Gov.
Yeah, it is.
At least it's not as bad. What would be worse if you flip it around and you had it on something else for a little too long, and you go back and you see them go crazy. That would probably piss me off even more.
Yes. Yeah, you actually see him do the handshake. What was it? Candelario was the first one that he met. You see the handshake, and you're like, wait a second, I just missed it by 30 seconds?
Yeah. All right, some ticket text, 248-539-9797. I flipped the game on yesterday and saw the first at-bat for Miggy all year. 2 pitches later, I knew it was gone the second he left the bat.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Northwestern
I've
Highway.
been watching every game religiously since 499. I was watching yesterday, but went to change a batch of laundry. I came up and he had hit it. I was so mad at myself.
But don't you know it's coming up?
Yeah.
I mean, that's too bad.
Steven texts in, I was at African Safari in Ohio with my family, riding on a camel with my 4-year-old when my ESPN alert went off. That's great.
He was in between humps.
I was at the park with my 4-year-old daughter with school friends, and my wife texted me, John, she still loves your laugh, Aaron from Madison Heights. And I was sitting at the Oxford Tap with my wife and some good friends, drinking some beers, eating some wings. It was perfect.
Awesome.
Brian at work.
Great setting for it, too.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're, sitting at a bar and having a few beers, some wings, it's right in front of you, that's a pretty good place, a spot for it, too.
I want to know if you were in that environment, whether it was at the Oxford Tap or wherever you were.
Yeah.
I mean, it's high fives all around. It's got to be, the whole place has to erupt. I would imagine that most people, a lot of those TVs would have been on the Tigers. They know what's going on. I got to believe that you went around and had a moment with all the tables high five.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if, obviously if the place is packed, I would expect it. After it's Sunday afternoon, it's not too crowded at the bar. The owner, the manager says, all right, this one's, if Miggy hit the home run, next round's on me.
That
would be pretty cool. Let's say hello to Mark. You're a 97 on the ticket. Mark.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I was up in La Casa in Ann Arbor with a buddy of mine watching the game. We go to the cigar bar and often and
Go
watch
past
the
this
Tiger
light,
games up
then
there.
use the
So
left
kind
3
of
lanes to
neat
turn onto Northwestern Highway.
Yeah, we're actually baseball umpires. So we got a group of 10 of us or so that meet up there, once a week or so.
Turn left.
And, just talk and watch a game. And we're actually up there too to watch the Little League World Series from Taylor, because I work in Taylor. I'm a teacher at Taylor High School. So.
Very cool. So let me ask you a question. When a group of umpires get together and watch a game, do you guys analyze like every pitch, every call? Do you hate Angel Hernandez, that type of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. We a lot of us when we do watch games and have a choice of
Take
games,
exit
we watch
14C
the game.
onto M39 and
The
Southfield
umpire, like
Freeway.
home plate umpire, so a lot of us do that. But yeah, we do analyze the game, and we actually had a good friend of ours working third base yesterday. A guy that we do a camp in Metro Detroit every year, and he he was actually working third base, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, we analyzed the umpires, we analyzed the pitch and things like that, you know. So definitely talk a lot of baseball and umpiring while we're there.
Did you watch the end of the game? Because
Stay in the
Soto
left
got
2
screwed
lanes.
on that and walked to Smith. He'd struck him out, I thought, before. There was a pitch that they showed in the Fox box that should have been called a strike. And they had the one where, thanks for the call, where Kirk, I thought, went over. I thought he didn't hold up. The appeal didn't work. That's a tough one.
Stoney, you brought up Angel Hernandez. How about Saturday? Did you see that?
No.
He called time right before the Yankees hit a home run. I heard about like the home run. They hit a home run. Like that's how late it was.
I heard about it. I didn't know it was him, though.
Yes.
Oh. Some guys, it just keeps happening.
That's indeed. 248-539-9797. What's your favorite Miggy home run
Stay in
of all
the
time?
left 2 lanes.
I have one that I think a lot of people agree with, but we'll see what yours is. That's coming up next. Jim Leland joins us at 7:35, 97.1.
Hey, it's John Jansen here for Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Are you driving around right now? You know your lease is going to be up by the end of the year and you can't find that vehicle you want. Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can help you. They have over 300 new vehicles in stock on the lot today. The team at Southfield is helping customers just like you with their Plan Ahead lease program. You can also, option 2, reserve one of their new 1,600 vehicles that are being built right now. So don't wait any longer to find your next lease. Now is the time to do it. All you got to do is log on to southfieldchrysler.com or go over to the dealership, see their great team over there, led by Bill and Tim at Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and get started today. Don't miss out on the Make This the Summer event where you can get into a beautiful new 2021 Ram 1500 starting at only $299 a month. So whether you live in Northfield, Berkeley, Brighton, or Allen Park, you're just a short drive or click away from the best car buying experience you're ever going to have. For more information, you can check them out online at southfieldchrysler.com. That's southfieldchrysler.com. And remember, all roads in all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 and Telegraph.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. An overnight accident enclosure has been cleared. All lanes have been reopened. 96 Jeffries eastbound express lanes at Outer Drive. Meantime, you'll find traffic is starting to build through the work zone. 275 from South Road Road to 94. Have you gotten your COVID vaccine yet? Find yours at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine or text your zip code to 438829. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The Detroit Tigers play the St. Louis Cardinals. Pre-game tomorrow at 7:25 on 97.1 The Ticket.
I'm Amy Lawrence with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Watch the highlight over and over, revel in the moment because it won't come around again for a long, long time. Miguel Cabrera joined elite company with home run number 500 Sunday. What a milestone for the 38-year-old Tiger slugger who's also closing in on 3,000 hits. He's a 4-time batting champ, a Triple Crown winner, a no-doubter for the Hall of Fame. He's also the last we'll see of 500 homers in the majors for years, maybe a decade or more. The next active player on the list is Nelson Cruz. He's already 40, still needs more than 50 dingers to join the club. Robinson Cano and Giancarlo Stanton are at 334 and 332 respectively. They both have trouble staying on the field.
programming notes. Jim Leland will join us at 7:35. And I believe if social media is correct, Mel Tucker will be with Mike Enrico.
In 6.4 miles, take exit 9 toward Joy Road.
Mel Tucker's forthcoming with anything, like who the starting quarterback is going to be?
Don't hold your breath.
No, it's they'll talk maybe cigars, golf.
Yeah.
All right, Miguel Cabrera with number 500. Obviously, there's a lot to choose from, but I'm curious. 248-539-9797. What's your favorite Miggy home? Because mine was not a milestone home run. It's not a postseason home run. Mine was actually started a 3-game stretch, but it was Friday night in Yankee Stadium where they were down like 3-1, I believe. Mr. Jackson was on base. He just bombed the fair to tie the game to center field, and then later that weekend he hit one to the left and then he went to right, or I forget the order. 3 home runs, another one off Rivera on Sunday. But the one Friday night to tie the game, well, of course they ended up losing.
Yeah.
But that to me was my favorite because, look, Miguel at that time in 2013, arguably the best player in baseball.
Yes.
And obviously Rivera was the best reliever, and it was just
Couldn't be.
man on man, and it just crushed it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're talking about a guy like Rivera, who you could say he's one of the top 2 or 3 relievers in history of the game. To have a moment like that, I agree with you. And in 2012, there were so many. I'm going to go with one that actually is a landmark, and that was when he hit 400. Because at that time, there was only 57 guys that in the history of baseball, we're talking now about 28 that at 500. I love the history of all of these sports, especially baseball, because there's so much great history. But we've also talked about, and we know how much it means to those in Venezuela. And that was not only 400 for Miggy, it was 400, and he had just passed Andre Galarraga for the most by a Venezuelan-born, baseball player. So I think that one, it sticks out to me just because of what it meant to that country, to those players, and obviously to Miggy as well.
Gov?
I gotta go with what you did, Stoney. I mean, that was ridiculous what he did against Rivera.
Yeah.
I mean, and they ended up losing the game.
Yeah.
In fact, when we played those Tiger Classics during COVID,
Right.
that was the only loss we selected. Every other game was that shows you just how
Yeah.
significant that was, because you pick the winning game. Who wants to listen to the team lose? But that moment was so great the rest of we played that game. It's interesting. Maybe his best is not even as a Tiger. He hit a walk-off in his very first game.
Yes,
Yeah.
his first at bat.
First at bat.
Yeah. And then he also hit a huge 3-run homer in Game 7 of the 2003 NLCS, the game after the Bartman game.
Oh, yeah, and he also, in the World Series that year, he hit a home run off Clemens.
Yeah, to open Game 4.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. Some of his better stuff was actually maybe with the Marlins, but I was looking back at some things here and just how young he looked back then.
Oh, I know.
My goodness.
I did see some of those
And
pictures and some of the videos.
He was
Yes.
playing left field
Yeah.
early in his career, before they moved him to third base, and then eventually
Take exit 9
first.
toward Joy Road.
I mean, there was one I was looking back on stuff, and I don't remember this one, but the one he hit that kind of left Camargo Park because of a bounce, but he hit it to center field and it left to stay.
Yeah.
He hit a big home run in the 2013 ALDS, the clincher for Verlander, that Verlander gets all the credit for.
What's Sonny Gray, right?
Yeah. That was 0-0 at the time in the 4th inning. That was probably, as a Tiger, one of the more significant.
Yeah, I mean, because you can even talk about the ALCS in 2012, even though it was a sweep in Game 4, he did the same thing. He gave some breathing room and just put it away, in essence. But you mentioned something earlier about the fact that the fans in Toronto gave him the curtain call. One of the great things about Miguel Cabrera is, and one of the things that I love about guys that are great at what they do and have mastered their craft, is when they show a love for the game. and not just a love like the game has given me this, I'm giving back to the game, but almost like a child's passion for playing the game of baseball. He still loves it, and he's always been that guy. And when he does have a moment like he did in Toronto with 500, and he does get that curtain call, a lot of that is, one, it's respect for the game, it's respect for the accomplishment, but it's also because I think a lot of people around baseball, most people around baseball, love that Miguel Cabrera was able to do this because of who he is. And the fact that he loves playing the game of baseball. And when Shohei Ohtani got to first base and he's picking on him with his gloves, it's endearing.
The chatter that he does with the other players, no matter if they're rookies or friends.
Or his interactions with the umpire.
Oh, yes. He's I'm sure he says stuff under his breath we don't get, but he looks so joyful. He's still a little kid making a hell of a lot of money. Let's not, forget that. But you know what? He deserves it. I mean, is he overpaid now? Yes, obviously, but he's being paid. Mike Ilitch wanted this stuff to happen as a Detroit Tiger.
And
that's why, it's part of the reason why he got the contract. He didn't want Miguel Cabrera hitting 500 or even other, milestones down the road, 3,000 hits, wearing a different uniform.
No.
That is why he grossly overpaid for him.
And you also are paying for what he did previously in his career.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all part of it. All part of it.
Yep. Ticket text, it's all Rivera. 2 homers off Rivera on back-to-back nights. It was 3. Well, 2 off of Rivera on Friday and Sunday. Saturdays was against Phil Hughes. My favorite Miggy home run is against Mariano Rivera in the 9th at Yankee Stadium. Fouled 2 pitches off his ankle. That's right. I forgot all about that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And still managed to go deep against the greatest closer of all time. Favorite Miggy home run was against Rivera at Yankee Stadium. That's from Dave.
So yesterday I had on Jim Costa after the game, and there was some chatter, not from him directly, but callers. Greatest right-handed hitter ever. And I thought that was a little bit going far. I mean, he's one of the best, but the greatest? Well, because I'll still put Pujols ahead of him.
I had a discussion with Wojo, and Wojo goes through the stats, and Pujols isn't, because when you look at a lot of other offensive WAR and batting average and things like that. Now, you're talking about just power, maybe, because the greatest right-handed hitter I believe of all time is Willie Mays.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Anyway, Jim Leland, we'll ask him coming up at 7:35. Coming up next, there was a football game in Pittsburgh. There was, though. 97-1 the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Fly ball, right center. Deep. Got a chance! 500! Miguel Cabrera has done it!
We are brought to you by Hall Financial. Home run number 500 came a little bit later perhaps than expected, and it did not come at home, but it came in Toronto yesterday in the 6th inning off Toronto's Steven Matz. Went 400 feet to right center field. All part of the Tiger 5-3 11-inning victory over Toronto. It will be a Miguel Cabrera celebration night for Tiger fans at home on Friday night, September 24th, when they host Kansas City. Many of his former teammates, including Justin Verlander, Nick Castellanos, and Prince Fielder, immediately tweeted out congratulations. Tigers off today. They visit St. Louis for the first of 2 on Tuesday night. Pitcher Willie Peralta placed on the 10-day injured list. He has a blister in his pitching hand. Little League World Series continues today for Taylor North in Williamsport, PA. They'll play a team from Texas today at 1 p.m. They were rained out yesterday. It is double elimination. New York Rangers Hall of Famer Rod Gilbert has died at the age of 80. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you, Jeff. Jim Leland will join us at 7:35. Saturday, the Lions played in Pittsburgh. And especially the first quarter, most of the first half was Pretty ugly. I mean, really, really ugly. Now, look, Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger started. A lot of the Lions regulars did not play on both sides of the ball. Pittsburgh had some of their guys out as well. And it's all part of the whole problem with the game is, because I went back and looked at it, and they were moving the ball at one point. Penalties just really killed them. And penalties killed them on defense, too, because at one point they stopped them, and then they had a penalty, and then they kept the drive going. But the bottom line is the team really looked bad in the first half. Doesn't mean anything when your quarterback's not even playing. And I think it means a little bit because it's player evaluation. I just think, the things that stuck out to me, John, and granted, as opposed to the beginning of week one where, they didn't really run the ball very well early with their full complement of offensive linemen against Buffalo. Saturday, it was just basically Vaitai and Sewell, the starters who played, because Ragnar Decker, did Jonah Jackson play?
Jonah Jackson played.
He played?
Yeah.
They really didn't do much. I mean, you look at the stats, and the yards per carry is pretty good, but Penei Sewell did not look real good. But it's still early in his career. And look, I'm going to say it, and I was one who said I don't want them to draft a quarterback. So I'm not saying,
Turn right into the parking lot, then arrive
she'll
at
listen
your
to me,
destination.
no. But right now, it's very, very early. It kind of looks like that they kind of screwed up by not taking Justin Fields.
Arrived.
Just very early on in our evaluation.
Well, Justin Fields didn't have a great game, too.
Well, he had his moments where he was really, really good, though.
Yeah.
You see, here's the difference. You see that part of it's the position.
Right.
You see what Justin Fields can probably be. You can tell me about Penei Sewell because to me, how did he play?
So, just real quick on Justin Fields. Yeah, he looked really good in game one. Game two against the Bills, where they started to put in a little bit more of the defense. You're showing some blitzes. You're disguising some coverages. He didn't look as sharp. You see the potential. I'll give you that. There's no question about that.
Beautiful pass to Jesse James.
Yeah, yes. But I'm just saying, let's hold off just a little bit.
I said very, very early.
Yes, very, very early. And also with Penei Sewell, you mentioned that it's early in his career. His career hasn't started yet. Right. It won't start until September. But here's what I saw with him. You could still see that he's uncomfortable. And the reason that I can say that is because he's on the ground too much.